welcome. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries.
It's been a
no
while.
worries at all. My pleasure.
It's been quite a lot of weeks in the making, this, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, but we're both busy blokes.
Well, you're quite busy.
I'm too busy. My brain needs to be busy, otherwise I can't function properly. I just don't.
You should just give up.
Yeah, potentially. I should do.
Just do something else.
Yeah.
Just get a 9 to 5. It's a lot easier.
God, it is, but it's just depressing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd struggle going back to that.
Yeah. Well, that's good actually. Let's talk about that. That's not what I've planned, but because it's quite interesting. This is James. Everybody listening and watching. James, you live in near Toulouse. What's the town called that's the closest one to you, basically?
Our commune is called Mézeville.
Oh yeah.
The nearest big-ish town is, I suppose, Mazères, which is like 8k away.
Yeah.
We're an hour from Toulouse, or south of Toulouse, and about 30, 40k from like where the big Pyrenees start, which is sort of Foix.
Yeah, that's further south though, right?
Yeah. Another 40k south from here is Foix, and that's where you sort of hit the bigger climbs.
Yeah, me and Keita were looking at it yesterday.
Quite lumpy between here and down there.
It is, yeah, because it is. That's why I was quite surprised. So I came to see the first time we met. I was on like one of the Moloko trips, wasn't it? And obviously I'd never been to the Pyrenees before, so I kind of expected it just to be like a little mountain shack in a mountain. But obviously it's actually really beautiful, like rolling hills and farmland, and it's quite diverse, really, because you're not that far from the mountains, but you're not in it and really remote. It is remote, but it's not like 2,000 meters up high.
Yeah, and the topography changes. Like you go like 15, 20k that way. I say that way, east from here, and it's like vineyards, and they farm differently there. You go a little bit further south, and it's more animals, farming. Where we are, it's mainly like sunflowers and wheat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it changes, and like the valleys get a lot wider the further west you go. A lot of people, when they're riding around here, and I'm sure you've said it, it looks like Tuscany.
Yeah, it reminded me of Tuscany a lot.
Yeah, just like in this little bit, it's called the Piège, and it's like, which means trap in French, and it's probably like 30, 40k square kilometers of like just looks like Tuscany.
Yeah, it is really beautiful, and it wasn't what I was expecting at all.
No, I think that's because obviously we're called Les Pyrenees, but we're not like high up in the mountains. In some respects, that's great because it means like we can cycle all year round, and we're not like in all the snow and storms.
Yeah.
In other respects, maybe people are expecting only mountains, but it means that we can cater for a lot more people.
Yeah, and you do go out to the mountains and stuff. We've done the Tourmalet together on the trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And it is proper mint, and the house is lovely. Like, I'm not trying to just like plug like Les Pyrenees, but it is wonderful.
But if you do want to come,
yeah, absolutely,
look us up.
James and Amy are the goats of Pyrenees cycling holidays. So definitely, I really enjoyed being there. I've been there multiple times. We've done quite a few things together now, and it's been really nice to sort of get to become good mates. And I'm really glad to have you on. But like, if I have got like a bit of a topic, a bit of a theme, I guess, for the whole podcast, because I've started doing themes. Keita did a future theme for one of them, and then it's just become a thing. Like, she's now like done that.
I saw the one that you uploaded yesterday, which was fast or further.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Faster or further. That was good. I like that one.
Yeah, Lewis, what you said to me on there, you just said off camera that you couldn't tell who was speaking because we're both northern.
Honestly, me and Amy were listening and sort of watching. I was like, I don't know if that's Luke speaking or the other guy. So we had to watch. So for people just listening, it might be difficult.
Yeah. For those who aren't from Yorkshire or North Lincolnshire, I guess it's difficult sometimes. The accent is kind of, everyone sounds the same. But I don't think you're going to have that problem listening today with me and you.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So you're living in France at the minute. I'm going to get onto the theme in a moment. But I just wanted to get a bit of a a bit of a background for the listeners and the viewers, because we do this thing called the Cyclist of the Week, usually, me and Keita do, but like we'll find like weird and wonderful stuff. But I always like to make it about like who I'm speaking with when we've got like guests on. So you're our Cyclist of the Week this week, James.
Wicked.
So you used to live in UAE or Abu Dhabi, right?
Abu Dhabi's in the UAE.
But
before that, I am from England.
Yeah, he is English.
Before.
But I just find that really interesting because you was on about like 9 to 5, and like you've ridden bikes. Well, when did you start riding bikes?
Road bikes since maybe like 2011.
Yeah.
But before then, I would like commute to work on a hybrid, like a flat bar jobby. And I used to do the London to Brighton, done it like 3 or 4 times for the British Heart Foundation.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And that was all on like a hybrid, which I think is like 60 miles. And I remember that being like a big deal. Like 60 miles is like a long way.
Yeah.
And it still is. But on a hybrid, it was like...
That's
and then, 2011, a friend of mine, he bought a road bike and was like, buy a road bike. So I bought one, finally got it. And then literally weeks later, he sold his.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, great. So I've just got this road bike and no one to ride with.
Oh.
And I ended up just like tagging on the back of like a local club ride. It was Thanet Road Club, which is it's like a proper old school English, like, club for all intents and purposes. And I'd go each week and wouldn't know the route and I'd get dropped and I'd end up riding with all the old boys at the back and they were like super cool. They'd look after you. I remember the first few times we used to come into this town called Deal, which is right on the coast, and it massively split up. All the fast guys would go on this certain hill. It'd be like people in the middle, the old boys at the back.
Yeah.
And then because it was quite lumpy, it would split up going into this town. And the first few times I'd get into town, like I'd be on my own or I'd get stuck at a junction and then I'd just lose everyone. And I'd be like, where the hell has everyone gone?
Hell.
So, and it turned out basically that they were going down this road and turning down this little side street to this cafe that they would all go to every single week.
Right.
And so I would go through the town, lose everyone, and then just like ride the 30, 40k home by myself, like thinking, where has everyone gone? And it was kind of, I think I was on Strava at that point, but like everything was so new to me that I didn't think to ask anyone like what the route was or
Jesus.
Trying to find out from Strava where people went. Say that again?
No one thought to say to you like, oh, last week, like, where did you go? We all went to the cafe. Like,
yeah, I think like... Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I think people would just like maybe presume I'd like peeled off.
Right.
So like there would be a few times. Once I started going like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and then obviously you get a bit more friendlier with people and they'd be like, I'll make sure you stay with us, we're going to this cafe. Yeah, and then it just went from there, road cycling wise.
So when did you move to Abu Dhabi then? Did you move, was that, because you were there for quite a while, right? Before you moved to France?
Early 2014.
Right, okay. And you've
so
rode
like
bikes over there?
2.5 years in the UK riding road bikes, like properly as we like to think we're cyclists.
Yeah, yeah.
And that consisted of, like club runs and a little bit of time trialing because that was still big in the UK.
Ah, nice.
And some like, not proper crit racing, but like race training. There's a circuit down in Kent called, I think it's now called Betts Hanger. Used to be called Foulmead, and it would be like an hour and then a bell, and it would be full gas, and that was quite fun. I think I did a couple of races, and went out to Calpe with friends back in like 2013, I think, or 2014. And that was like obviously mega first experience of riding abroad.
It's mint, isn't it, getting abroad for the first time?
Yeah, massively. Somewhere new, like the roads, people respecting you, and just good to be away with mates on the bikes. Yeah. And then I got offered a job in 2014 to go out to Abu Dhabi, and we just thought, you know what, if we don't do it, we're always going to be asking what if.
Yeah.
So before I took the job, I was like Googling the area, found out there was a expat cycling group, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll go. Because by then had caught the bug. I'd stopped playing football and was just cycling.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. And to ride out there, like, I think a lot of people assume it's just like flat and straight because it's all just man-made stuff in the desert, right? But like, is there any variety?
A lot of it is flat and straight.
Is it? Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, and I suppose that was probably the experience the first sort of 6 months, year or so, and then you realise, right, well then you could ride around the Formula One circuit like 2 or 3 times a week. They opened it up; it was free to go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we used to go on, I think, a Sunday night and a Tuesday night, and by then, like, you're riding with like a group of friends, or like at the time there was like a team that I used to ride with.
Yeah.
And then you'd go a bit further afield, so still within the Abu Dhabi Emirate, you'd go out to Al, which is where you see like the UAE tour going up Jebel Afit, which is completely pan-flat desert, and then there's big old, like, I think it's 12k climb.
Didn't they do that yesterday? Was that yesterday when they did that?
Potentially. I caught up on the first couple of stages.
Yeah. At the time of recording, the UAE tour is currently happening.
On. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the lads from... so I did a bit of work with Modern Adventure Pro Cycling on their camp in Girona. And it's their first...
is that who you're with?
Yeah. So I shot there. I will be doing some races with them, I think, this year. Maybe Paris-Roubaix, because that's a massive one for them. Because they're only... they're a pro-level team. They're not World Tour. This is
George Hincapie's team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually the really cool bunch of people that they've got together. It's a really cool vibe. But it's their first World Tour race. It is World Tour in at UAE. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
we'll say it is.
It is because I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, UAE Tour is World Tour. I always do this as soon as I start recording. I say stuff and I'm like, I need to fact check that because someone's gonna. Yeah, it is. It's a World Tour race. It's the only UCI World Tour race in the Middle East. So it's there. A lot of the lads, it's their first ever World Tour race because it's full of really young, like, American lads. A couple of guys from South Africa, a couple of guys from New Zealand, a few British lads. What's his name? It's completely gone. Ethan Hayter. His little brother Leo.
Hayter. Okay.
His little brother Leo is riding for the team. I don't know why I just blanked on that. But yeah, it's a really cool vibe. So yeah, that's happening currently. But it is like, that's kind of the iconic climb, isn't it? It's like one iconic climb that every year they're like, wait till they hit that, and it's
it's more of the decider. They also go out, which for us where we lived in Abu Dhabi, it was about a 3 or 4 hour drive. But you'd go out to now I'm gonna like completely forget the Hatta Mountains,
right?
Which is like Jebel Jais. So you go out there, which is like the other side of Dubai and more towards like Fujairah and like the coast, like I suppose the Indian Ocean.
Right.
Again, don't quote me on that, but it's over that side.
Yeah, it's
over that side of the UAE. And out there, like, I loved riding out there. It was like a proper mountain range.
Right.
Whereas Jebel Hafit is literally like one mountain.
Right. Okay. And the rest of it's just flat. And I imagine really, really warm.
Really warm for the majority of the year. Like, so in summer, which is April, May through to like September.
Wow.
October. The rides are starting at like 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And then you're kind of wanting to be off the road by 9:30 latest, especially in like July, August.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But because
intense.
it was so pan flat, you'd have done like 130, 140k.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It was quick. There were big groups. There's a really, really good community out there. And there'd be like support vehicles with,
really,
especially again in the summer, with like more drinks on board, ice, just like everything.
That's awesome. A bit like when we come to you for holidays with support vehicle and everything.
That's where I got the idea.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, it really does make a big difference to have that, especially when you're riding in big groups.
Yeah, and I mean, if anyone's got a problem, there's tools on hand, there's pumps on hand, or like if someone wants to just take a rest, take a breather on a climb, we can ferry them up the top. It very rarely happens, but I think it's nice that people can have it in the back of their mind that, like, worst case, there's a bailout option. And like you've done Pyre out here, and that's probably one of the tougher climbs in the Pyrenees. I think it's harder than the Tourmalet.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And it's a lot wilder
Yeah.
this side of the Pyrenees than it is when you're out towards the Tourmalet. Like there's no shops, there's nowhere to really get anything until you go up like another climb.
Yeah, I mean, there was literally nothing at the top of it, just a stone hut, and that was it, wasn't it?
Exactly. You might be lucky if there's a few sheep or some horses or something.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That Pyre day was really... I don't know what it was that day. I felt awful that day. That was the day before I got stung by that bee, wasn't it? Because I got stung in the face. Because going up...
No, it was the day of that. It was when we were...
descending back.
After Pyre, we did the Col de Chula.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, it's like downhill the way back to like where we start. And you, myself, and someone else were flying along, weren't
Hannah.
we? And I think you just got on the front.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you were like, ah. And you got
We were doing like 70k an hour, and it just like smacked me in between my glasses and my helmet, and my face was like... It was really bad the couple of days after that, wasn't it? Like my face was completely like... My eye was swollen shut. And then I did Tourmalet.
Maybe you could put up a picture.
I've got a couple, but I didn't save the best one. I don't know why. I've got rid of them. But I haven't got a nice segue into our first topic. But
okay,
we've done a lot together in this relatively short space that short time that we've known each other, like 2 to 3 years. But actually, in the more time we spent together, has kind of been in and amongst like long distance and ultra style like racing. So we've done a bit of at the tracker. I've just signed up to do the 360 now, and I know you've done the tracker 360, but we had quite a very highly concentrated period of time together for a week or so doing Desertus last year, when we shot that film, and that taught me a lot about ultra racing without even ultra racing. And I know we've said that joking, like, I really would love to come and do it. He says,
"Hey, there's still time."
But I can't get a spot now. And I'm.
Can we get you a spot?
I'm in LA at that point.
No, come on, we'll hook you up.
Well, maybe next year.
There's also another one that's I've just looked at. It's by the same organisation, and it's called Rhapsodon or something like that. But I think it starts this year in Switzerland.
Wow.
And you go through Switzerland, Austria, Germany, the Czech Republic, and you finish in Poland.
Jesus. That's a lot of Ks.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's about 1,600.
Wow. Which is...
August for us tends to be not crazy busy, like because it gets so hot.
Yeah.
So we try to like book a bit of time out in August. So I'm like, I've got my eye on it.
Maybe go and do that one.
Might do that.
Well, that is what I want to just go through and sort of... I guess I've not got a specific event or anything in mind. Obviously, Desertus is a good place to start, but the main topic of conversation is long distance racing in general, because I feel like I'd originally put down like long distance racing is the best kind of racing, but I haven't done a lot of other types of racing. I wouldn't even say that I've really done long distance racing. It's a race for myself. Like when you go and do these kinds of things, it's like, same with an Ironman or a half Ironman or whatever. Like you kind of racing, but unless you're elite, you're not racing, but you are racing yourself, and it's that same mindset, right? You train for it.
Yeah.
You have to mentally get yourself ready and prepared, and you do have to physically prepare with a lot of things as well. Like I'm going to have to figure out what to take on the bike, like having the support to have the food and the nutrition and swapping over like vests and stuff like this. There is a little bit of nuance to it, but I'm not going to be racing the elites at the front. But to me, I'm still classing it as racing. And
the thing is, like doing the tracker like you're going to do, you're still going to go as deep as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because it's like a short enough distance to basically keep pushing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you did the 200 last year, didn't you? And
Yeah.
you can push on that. And this, yeah, obviously it was almost double, but it's like a full day of absolutely beasting yourself.
Yeah. Which I'm actually quite looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared. Like, what was your experience at the 360? How many have you done it once or twice?
No, I've not done the 360.
Oh, haven't you? Or was it the 200 you did?
No, just the 200. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I thought you'd done the 360 as well.
No,
but
I think I was planning to do it this year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like I said, I've got a very good friend that's selfishly getting married exactly the same weekend.
Oh heck. I'm gonna have to pay you for your accommodation so I can take it off your hands. I'll sort that out for you.
Oh
soon.
Yeah, we can sort that out.
Yeah, we'll sort.
Should we
that
do
out.
it now so that everyone can see our bank details?
Yeah, we'll just put it on the. We'll just put a little screenshot on this. Yeah, just there. See, I actually signed up for the 360, not by mistake. So I assumed all of the places were gone, so I got in touch with the guys from Hutchinson Tyres because they sponsor the event and I'm an ambassador for them. So I just got in touch and I said, oh, look, as part of the contract, you can get entries to certain events, and I really wanted to do it. So I just asked the question, like, do you have any entries? And he was like, you're like 6 months too late. I was like, okay, of course. I just wanted to see. Literally 2 days later, he emailed me saying one of the athletes has had to pull out because they can't do it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Do you want the entry? So I was like, yeah. So I said it was for the 200, but when I went to put in the code for basically to say that you're from one of the sponsors, the only option was the 360, and I was like, oh God. And then I thought to myself, like, I've done the 200. Like, why? If you're going to go back, why not do something that's you've never done before? And I really love that about this type of racing, because you get to have that mindset. You get to train. You get to have a goal. You get to unlock new potential, but also, like, you get to do something that you've literally never done before.
Yeah.
Rather than just go that little bit faster in the same thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. It's a different experience because you've got to eke out your energy for that much longer. You know, you're going to start in the dark, you're going to finish in the dark.
That's a big thing.
Well, you might not. You might surprise yourself.
I think I will finish in the dark.
I'd love to be there to come and support. I'd love to be there.
It'd be mint. Yeah, but you've got other people, more important people to support.
Well, not more important. Just, you know.
But it is, I think that type of racing, watching you and Amy, especially you guys do it together. Of course, your story was like really, really great for that event, and I'm sorry that you had the issue with your leg and you couldn't finish it. But I still think that experience together over 5.5 days, was it 5.5 days in total in the end? Yeah.
Yeah, just over 5. Amy finished in. Yeah,
it really was powerful. Like, it's not just about. There's a difference, isn't there, with that type of distance of racing?
Yeah.
It's a big mental game, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's like 80% mental.
Mm.
Although something physical stopped me in the end because I had a knee issue. It was my 3rd time of doing it. The first 2 times, obviously, I just did it by myself. The first year, I think I was like 4.5 days. And then the one before last year, I did it in like 3.5 days and really surprised myself.
Oh, yeah.
And then last year, obviously, first time doing it with Amy, which was completely different, thinking about someone else. And because we're a couple, there's that different dynamic rather than like me and you doing it together, where we could just, you know, be like, have a proper row. I'm fucking off down the road.
Yeah.
I'll see you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt that level of responsibility for Amy because I kind of talked her into it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I'm doing at the moment for this year's one.
Again, even though she's done it before, she's still.
Well, we were out riding yesterday, and she said to me the other day, because there's another subject that we've started working with a coach, and
Okay.
which is something not that I've always been dead against, but often thought, why do you need a coach? Like, what are you training for? And I've said to you about folks, you know, that take their training super seriously, and they're like, I can't come and ride with you lot because I've got to do this session, and I might scoff at that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
which I agree with. I do understand that. Like, I think that's...
Yeah, but I think, like last year, I rode 17,000 kilometres, and that's all very well and good, and it's not as far as some, and it's a lot further than others. But I don't think I felt very fit.
Really? Right, okay.
Like, as fit as I think I potentially have been in the past, and obviously I'm getting older.
Yeah.
But because it's like a lot of riding with guests, it's not much sort of like top end stuff. Maybe it's junk miles, you know, a lot of just sort of empty kilometres. Great fun.
Yeah.
This year, I kind of said, I'd like to go into Desertus, I don't know, knowing that I'm at my strongest.
Yeah.
Instead of
exactly
like
the
last
same.
year, we just rode loads beforehand. So that was our training, was just time in the saddle. Whereas the guy that I'm working with now is a guy called Leslie from Belgium, that we know through a former company we used to work with. He's basically got us doing very targeted sessions throughout the week. So we do like an anaerobic, a VO2 max, and then like quite a chunky endurance ride.
Yeah.
And it's still quite early days. We're only like 6 weeks into it now.
Okay.
But I've never, ever done anything like this in the, 15, 16 years I've been riding. I've never sat down and done intervals. You know what I mean? Set out to do intervals. It would be like riding with friends. It would get really hard. Maybe we sprint to the town sign or whatever else. Or I'm trying to hold onto someone's wheel going up a climb. That would be like my workout.
Where you've actually put a bit of pushing in.
Yeah.
I was the same. It's weird because it's like hearing that maybe it's because like, but so I had the opposite last year. So I'd ridden for 6 years and done basically had no improvement really in terms. I was looking at all my PBs and stuff around where I live and up the climbs where I always push, and they're always, I mean, a little bit of improvement, but like minuscule over like 5 years. Last year, all I did was get on the bike for longer and just ride loads more, time in the saddle, and I improved like an insane amount. My FTP went from like 217 to 290 in a year, and it had been at 217.
Which is big
200.
for someone of your size, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm only a little boy. I'm 64 kilo.
Yeah.
So that was massive, but maybe because that I understand that you'd hit a plateau no matter what you do unless you change something, right?
Yeah. And I think that's where you get to quite quickly. Like once you've been riding a few years and you see that steep progression from when you're quite new to the sport, unless you're changing it up, you do plateau, don't you? And it's like
if your body's used to just doing that amount of mileage and you are getting that good mileage in, so you're maintaining, but you aren't really pushing yourself, but your body's been used to that for 3 or 4 years, then all of a sudden you need to change something. And even if you are getting loads of miles, it isn't, your body's just like, yeah, cool, we do this all the time. This is just like normal. And then you have to then shock the system, I guess, and start really working in certain areas. So I want to try and doing that a little bit, having some, I like that idea of having like in the week, specific, targeted, and very intentional training, and then enjoyment on the weekend, or the other way around. You know, whatever it is you can fit into your schedule, but it allows you to have that that goal and that discipline without it becoming like, I can't do this because I have this.
Yeah.
I can't come ride with you. You have to have a bit of both. You've still got to enjoy it at the end of the day.
That's it. And Amy and I were talking about it yesterday. Because we're like 6 weeks in, and because the weather here has been quite awful since January. Like it has, like I've done so much on Zwift that I've never ever done this much before, and it's great and all. But I am missing the outside rides, and we got out yesterday, and it was like, this is amazing.
Well, there's a segue into the last ride. This is something I've done every week, and it's actually your idea.
I did notice in one of your other podcasts that you just sort of started to use it, and I was like, well, that's my podcast down the drain.
Yeah, well, because I thought it was a great idea, a weekly segment to talk about what was the last ride you did. And I always ask Keita, and it's always the same ride from months ago. No, she's actually getting on the bike now on Zwift. But I guess your last ride then was yesterday. Tell us a bit about
yesterday. Yeah. So as I said, with the training, we've got like a Tuesday, a Thursday. So I did one this morning, and then a longer ride at the weekend. And he's just sort of said, if we can get out in between those rides, do so, but try and keep it like zone 1, zone 2. So yesterday there was a first bit of sun in what felt like weeks.
Nice.
So we went out, we had to drop off a parcel at the post office. So we did that on the way out. And then, we went out for like 60k, headed south, tried to keep it relatively flat. And you sort of can if you go in between the valleys, just so that you're not pushing, because you know how hilly it is out here. You can be zone 1, but to get up a hill, you need to go like zone 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it was very chill. It was warm and it was nice. And I really didn't realise how much I'd missed it.
Nice. Because you've been inside a lot.
Because I've been inside forever.
I do rate indoor riding for that control.
Oh, it's
so
efficient
you can
as hell.
You can set that session, and you know that you can achieve it as long as you have the legs, which you will have the legs, but because the erg mode can take care of it for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I never ride on
erg
mode.
Junction. Don't you?
I can't do it.
I didn't used to like it so much on my old turbo because it would lock you in, and it had like this power smoothing where it was just like. But with the elite turbos that I use, like they don't have as strong power smoothing. So if you do change your cadence, or like it is sensitive, and so you do have to have like there still is a bit of this. So although it's holding you in that area, you do still have to be consistent with your pedaling and think about when you're getting out the saddle or when you're changing gear or whatever. If you are, so again, it's like a halfway house, which I like, but. For me, it's just like one less thing to think about.
Yeah, I suppose it depends, obviously, what trainer you've got. Like you said, we've got, I don't know what we've got, the Kickar core thing with the Zwift bike. And it's an amazing bit of kit, but I much prefer just like using the gears and letting that stay, like keep me in like a nice cadence. And I always ride with a much higher cadence on the trainer than I can ever do on the road, which is, I find...
Really?
It's quite weird. I can, like, on the road, I'm averaging 75, 76.
I was going to say 70. You don't pedal that fast.
No, but on the trainer, I'm like 85, 90. And I don't know what it is, because I try and do that out on the road, and it just feels so weird.
Yeah, maybe the fact that the bike can move, I don't know, but that would probably make it. I would have thought that would have made it.
Any people that know, tell me. And
why is
really
that?
Matter?
Yeah, does it matter? Probably not. But
it's what's comfortable for you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We had a guest a couple of years ago, like we had a group from Canada, and one of their really strong guys, he's quite an old boy, probably late 50s. Mm-hmm. So not that old, but late 50s, early 60s.
The older we get, the less old it seems, right?
Yeah, I know. And he was so strong, and he rode with a crazy high cadence. And for that week, I like really tried, and I was like, oh yeah, by the end of the week, I was like, oh, this feels all right. And then it just slowly over time, it just comes down to like 75, 80. And it's comfortable.
That is it. I guess
I got long legs, haven't I? So.
You have, yeah. Akita rides at like 60 RPM.
Oh wow.
Just unnecessary. I keep telling her, like you go, like she's just riding like bottom of the block.
She got
everywhere.
super strong thighs.
She must have, but she just. I think she's just like, I just feel comfortable, just like pushing really slow. And I'm like, but it's not like as soon as you get to any incline, you're screwed because you need to come down like 6 gears. But obviously, where we live, there's not a lot of climbing really. It really is. Like I say it all the time. It's like Holland, but it genuinely is. It's super flat. Like I can ride 100. I did 160k.
Everyone speaks Dutch.
Yeah, it sounds like it to you. I rode 160k. Last year in the summer, and I think it was 350 meters of elevation.
Yeah, wow, that's like being in Abu Dhabi. You'd be fine in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but it makes you strong on the climb because it's all open.
Yeah.
Like you're in it, you could just be riding non-stop, pedaling, putting the power non-stop for 2 hours in the wind. So, ironically, it makes you quite good at climbing because you can hold sustained power for a long period of time. And it's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
I bring people
especially
from,
on a long climb,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
exactly.
say. Yeah.
The longer, the better for me.
Yeah. Not me.
Bring up so when I've brought mates over who've come and stayed over, we've done a podcast. We usually try and get a ride in. Like Mark came up, and we've had Maz, biking Maz up here, and like they're all like, you know, travel all over, cycle loads, really love it. Come around here, and it's like, what? This is the hardest ride I've ever done. I'm like, you've ridden all over the world, and it's like, but you just don't stop pedaling, and it's just always flat and straight. Like you just don't stop. I'm knackered after 80k.
Yeah,
But
it's very different. Like when I came here from Abu Dhabi, I thought I was well, I suppose I was fairly fit, but because of like around here, there are lots of like short, steepish climbs where you're on, off, on, off. That found me out for a bit. I was all right. Like I quite like the wind. I think that comes from my Abu Dhabi days. And
Abu Dhabi days.
Yeah. I quite enjoy like when it's windy or if there's a headwind. I don't mind that. It doesn't get in my head. Whereas, you know, like some people, like it messes with them in the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first came out here, I did get found out in terms of that on-off. Whereas Abu Dhabi, it was just constantly on.
Because that is like the difference between anaerobic and aerobic, isn't it? Basically, is you need that power.
Put my coaching hat on. No idea.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure because your aerobic capacity, if you just carry on going for ages on the flat in the wind, you got a good aerobic capacity. But your anaerobic is where you need to be explosive,
punch,
and bang, and then and usually if you're really good at one, you aren't so good at the other, usually, because your body's used to, obviously it's like a balance, it's like a scale.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I think it's definitely something I'm not very good at. My anaerobic, I'm not very strong in a sprint or with explosive power, but I'm like a little.
Put you on a hill, and
I'll just go for ages. I'll never run out of batteries. Yeah. I usually try and find really nice ways to weave the conversation into the next topics, but I'm not even going to bother with these ones.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to get a link to our hot take this week. Pockets on bib shorts are underrated. This was from you.
That was from me.
It was from you earlier on.
I still agree with that.
I think it's a very polarising thing.
I think it's probably my age.
It's just handy, isn't it?
Yes, very practical. Just those extra pockets.
Absolutely. But there's so many people that like even so we went on the ride, the Equinox ride, the map Equinox ride it was from Benchmark in London, and it was it was September, so it's like autumn. It's a perfect time to be having extra pockets for extra stuff. And even the guys at Map were just like, I just can't. I just don't like having the pockets on. And I'm like, most of their bibs now have the pockets.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Big fan. Put your phone in, put a little camera in if you need to.
Yeah, I think it's that. It's like because of the business, we end up carrying like extra food in case guests and stuff might run out of food. So like emergency bits, maybe like a small first aid kit. And then it's like, like you say, it's a camera. It might be like a GoPro or an Insta360 with a mouth mount. And it's just somewhere else to put something that's very quick to access. Yeah. You know, like cycling kits now are getting like they're cut really high. Yeah. And the pockets are quite high. So like to get something quickly isn't always
it's a nightmare.
Isn't always that easy. So if I've got my phone in my pocket, I can just whip it out, and I just think just give me pockets.
Yeah, I think it's handy. I like higher cut kit, but it is a nightmare, and especially like mid seasons. Like it's if you're layering, you got a gilet on. Like sometimes just get into stuff like
a gilet with no pockets. They should be illegal.
It's really should. They should be just like a bra. So you can just get behind. Like maybe not. Maybe that's not right.
They've got those aero bras, so you just have to wear it over the top of your kit.
Yeah, wear that over the top instead. Stay aero and warm, or not so aero but warmer. But I just think like, cause we're quite niche. Like part of our job and our businesses is like making content on the bike, like that from a marketing point. Like so that is obviously a little bit niche. But I think more and more people enjoy doing that on the bike and documenting like their love of their love of the sport. But it's not just cameras and stuff, is it? Like you say, like just the essential bits that you want easy access to. Like I think they're really good. And when you don't have stuff in the pockets. Most of the designs now from a lot of the brands, you can't even really tell it's got pockets. It's that flush and tight and air. It's not like you've got a big baggy pocket hanging off of your nice aero shorts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like things like just like thin gloves. I set off yesterday with thin gloves on. Quickly realised it was way too warm for that. So you can just like stuff them in a pocket. And obviously you can tuck them under your top or put them in. But it's just that, I think it's just laziness on my part that there's just that easy access to stuff.
And you don't have to stop riding, because I hate having to stop every 10 minutes to just move something or get something. Like, it just feels like you interrupt your flow.
Yeah. So that's my hot take. That's underrated.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is underrated.
I'd put it on all kit.
Every pair of shorts, would you just sew pockets on?
And bibs.
Yeah.
Long bibs.
And long bibs, bib tights.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm surprised that isn't more of a thing. Surely it is with a lot of brands.
My ones that I've got at the moment from Café de Cyclist, they've got pockets on. One zipped and one just like a quick entrance jobby, and I love them. In fact, I've got 2 pairs because I like them that much.
I think James has tried them as well. Bike Fit James, he's on Café de Cyclist, and he really.
I'm actually in a meeting with him later on today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we get to see the new spring-summer collection from Café de Cyclist. And I was checking the email address list for who's in our little meeting, and he's on there.
He is. That's why he can't. I was going to have a meeting with him after this podcast. He said he can't. That'd be why.
That's why.
Because he's got a meeting with you. How weird is that?
It's all entwined, isn't it?
We're all part of the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's underrated. There are some pockets on the bibs. You know them bibs that I wore for the tracker that she sold me anyway, even though they were women's, and I didn't realise I got done by the woman at Velodrome.
I didn't realise they were women's. They looked very good on you.
They fit me fine. I actually fit women's kit quite well because I'm little. So those have got a zippy pocket in the bib strap, the back part.
Oh, yeah.
What's like, okay, I understand that's quite, maybe in theory is like a good idea. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to put inside that underneath my jersey?
Yeah, I don't know, because I've got a few pairs that either with Sin, who we used to ride with. I'm not sure if the cafe thing has something further up, but yeah, I've always thought, what do you use that for?
Because I guess it is cool and handy. Obviously, it's a place that, like, utilise the space. I get that, but then it's going to be underneath.
Maybe if you're on like a long ultra and you want somewhere safe for your bank card. I don't know. Yeah. It's just because it's right tucked up, so it's super safe. It's never coming out. Yeah. And if it's zipped.
Yeah. I just found
if you like melted Mars bars, you put it next to your body.
Yeah. Or like little starburst.
Yeah, but how are you going to get to them?
Exactly. That's what, because I was like, that's a great idea. When I first saw it, I was like, they've got 3 zips. They've got like one above, like on the hips, one on the back. I was like, that's really cool. And then I thought, actually, how am I even going to get to them? But maybe it's like essential, like you say, essential stuff. So like when you get to your destination at the end of your day, if you're doing a long...
Maybe there's something. It's things that you don't need to access.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not carrying bags for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like a long day ride that's 250k and you just want a little bit of extra storage.
Yeah. An interesting one. That one I'm not so sold on, those pockets, but I am sold on down the side of the bib
leg
shorts.
Pockets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Tell me about this.
Okay.
These bikes. Bike of the week. I haven't got a jingle for it yet, so I have to...
No, but I think that's good.
I have to make it myself.
Can you not do like a little remix of that?
Probably.
Like record what you've just said and then throw a beat in.
Probably. I'll have to get on. I'll have to see if I can get my my music software license updated so I can go back in it after 10 years.
Get on it.
Yeah.
From your band days.
Back in the heavy metal days. bikes of the week, because you
Yeah.
refused to let me just pick one. We have.
Well, I love them both.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. I can understand why. We have, from the wonderful people in Bergamo, 3T bikes,
Yep.
the Race Max Italia and the Strada Italia.
Correct.
These are your two most up-to-date bikes, because you recently got... Oh, I say recently. It's probably not recently now, is it? It's been ages. But you've got
the Strada Italia, which is the red one, which is my road bike.
Yeah.
I got that in August.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
I've never been so sold on the head tube look myself of them.
Okay, fair.
But now, because this is deeper than your other one, isn't it? Now, because are they exploiting that change in the regulation where you can have a really deep head tube now, a bit like the Ridley?
Yeah. So the one that I had before was just the normal Strada. So that was the one that was still made in Taiwan. The Strada Italia is made in Italy, like start to finish.
Right.
Comes on a roll of carbon fibre. We went there a couple of years ago, and it just comes as a roll, and then they spin it with all these like crazy machines that you're not allowed to record for too long.
Wow.
And they do it all in house in Bergamo.
That's cool.
And it is really cool. It was a lot smaller than I was expecting their factory. I think they knock out about 1,000 bikes a year.
Wow. Okay.
So not a lot.
No, not for a big brand, but like 1,000 bikes a year. I mean,
I think it's 1,000. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's in my head. That figure.
from that toy. It's a really cool. It is a cool. I love that red. You're on SRAM Force, the new SRAM Force. Fast forward wheels.
Yep. Fast forward raw wheels, which are 55 mil deep, and they're like a gloss finish, which is quite nice because it sort of goes with the gloss paint and the.
Yeah, it looks really nice in that light. That second picture that you've sent, which has on the angle, like where the sun's just coming off the frame and off the wheels, it looks really, really nice. It's kind of like a chunky down tube, right? So it's like it comes out, it's narrow at the top, and then as it comes down to where the bottles are, it gets really nice and chunky.
Zero, isn't it?
Yeah, and it has a similar sort of seat tube to like the Cervelo.
Yeah, well, it's Gerard Vrooman is like, I think he's a part owner of 3T, but he was like the Cervelo engineer.
Right.
So he's the designer behind it all. So that's why Cervelo and 3T can look a bit similar, because he left Cervelo, came over to 3T, and obviously the way he designs and engineers is still very similar.
Yeah. Tell me about this saddle.
Yep. What do you want to know? It's bloody lovely.
Why have you got it on your bike?
Well,
look at it.
I
looks
went
like someone's broke their nose.
and saw a bike fitter in 2016 in Dubai, a guy called Toby Jones, who there's like some guild of like mythological bike fitters, and there's only a few of them in the world. I can't remember what it's called. But he was a member of it, and he came really, really highly recommended. And basically, he put me on that saddle in 2016. It's an SMP Dynamic.
Yeah.
And I've not ridden anything ever since.
Really?
I find it super comfortable. You kind of sit
in it
rather than on it. And it does, to the eye, look potentially uncomfortable, but it is super comfortable.
It looks unusual, doesn't it? I don't know. So I've done a few bits. Obviously, we talk about Bike Fit a lot because I do stuff for Bike Fit James. So because I ride with my saddle, I think I don't feel it's pointing up, but he always tells me it's ever so slightly pointing up. And I feel like I do that to sort of get a similar effect to what this saddle must be doing, where you feel like you're sort of like using the saddle to. I don't know, because it's not what I agree with. But James says it's because I'm using the saddle to basically prop myself up because
you're going too far forward.
Yeah, but I feel more like it's like when the saddle is level, it doesn't feel level to me. It feels like I'm like
falling.
Not falling because I can hold myself up, but it feels as if like how my hips are angled, like they're more upright, if you know what I mean. So it needs the saddle to come back to make me feel like my center of gravity and my balance, my weight distribution is right. Otherwise, I'm not putting loads of weight on my hands, but I am feeling like my actual balance is just further forward. Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing. It's not like I'm putting loads of weight there, but that I
and are you on the same saddle on all your bikes?
Yes, all apart from one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does that feel?
That other one actually feels better now, but I think that is more to do with the fact that I can run the saddle. So I use Birk saddles, and because of that shape,
because you are one,
I am a Birk. But they actually, in a way, you can probably see it on the. I know you can't because the laptop's covering it. But on the bikes there, they have on the Lupina Short, 132 mil.
Good knowledge.
It doesn't look quite the same as this, but I think it has a similar effect where you sit in one place, and if you sit anywhere else on it, you can tell you're not sat where you're meant to be sat.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Celitalia Boost one, I can sit kind of anywhere on that and not really feel any discomfort.
Feel all right, yeah.
So, but I can tell that it kind of feels like it's pitched down further. Whereas the Birk, I basically have the nose up like a half a degree, and then I feel like I'm sitting in it very much. That's why I was interested in yours, because that one is very much like you were sat in it,
yeah.
Right?
And like it's like one of those things. Like if you're looking at a certain car to buy or something, all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere. Like I see a lot of people on SMP saddles.
To be fair,
a lot of. I went to a bike fitter out here, a lady a couple of hours north, last year or the year before. And she kept me on it. She had a lot of other SMPs to test and some Celitalia stuff, but she did all the pressure mapping with the doofer that goes over your saddle, and she was like, no, it's fine for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was good to be like, after all these years, it's still like doing a job. Like touch wood, I get the odd saddle sore on an Ultra, but I think that's more to friction rather than poor saddles.
Yeah. You'd notice if you had poor saddle interaction, it would lead to issues everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I know I mentioned it to you during the race because your knee started to go, and I was like, is it something to do with that? But I think it's an isolated thing, right? Like you've not had really a lot up to that and a lot since.
No, I mean, that knee issue that I had last year, within probably a month of just doing very short rides, it had kind of gone. And
it's weird, isn't it?
I went to see a physio, and he was basically put it down to, because obviously we were riding. Well, I think I pulled out like just over 1,000 K. So obviously we're riding long days, and he was just like, your back and your glute basically had given up, and there's strain somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you work on those areas and try and, which is something else I'm trying to do this year, but before Desertus, is
more
just trying to strengthen everything else up. Yeah.
Elongate.
Again, which is something I've never done with any consistency the whole time I've been riding bikes. You go through a stage of doing it for a month or two, and you're like, and then...
Yeah, but it's a lot to do, isn't it? Like, when you think about it, like, all of a sudden, I get what you were saying before. Like, if you're adding in structured training, as well as what you have to do for your job to get the people out on long rides, as well as then planning for the event, and then you also put in strength work every week, all of a sudden, every week's just, like, full of stuff.
Yeah, and it's a bit like they just go past in a blur, and it feels like at the moment all I'm doing is either sitting on Zwift or trying to lift weights.
Yeah.
And if I'm not doing those two things, I'm eating so that I can do it, or I'm thinking about like fueling, or it's just a bit intense.
So you're doing Desertus again this year. Are you doing it on this other bike? So this other one is the Race Max Italia.
Yeah.
So this,
and yes, I am.
You're doing it on this bike.
Yeah. So the Race Max Italia 2 has come out now, which has got slightly different geometry. Amy's got one, and a few other little hidden gems of technology.
Nice.
I'd say. Different design. It's got like a place where you can store stuff. It's got a built-in rear light. I haven't got one of them yet. I'm not sure when they're sending me one, if they will.
Right.
But I'm happy on this one, and I used that one last year, and I'll use it again this year.
Yeah, and it's currently set up for gravel, but you've got 2 by on there?
Yeah, that's 2 by force, but like the previous force.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll put like the aero bars on it for Desertus.
Yeah. That was going to be
And
part of
probably
the
run.
hot take about aero
Go on.
bars, actually.
And
That
should
was
we go
going to
there
be.
now, or is
I
that?
just think. I mean, I might. Yeah, because it's not in the game. I was going to do the game first, and then I forgot. So we'll do the game last, and then I'll just maybe put it at the beginning of the podcast.
Nice segue. Yeah.
But yeah, because aero bars, how much do they actually make a difference in long distance? I mean, like in that context of riding like for multiple days.
I think a big difference. However, the caveat would be for last year was my first year using them.
Right.
And I don't think I had them high enough.
Right.
So, yes, it's great to be in that position. You definitely feel the relief in terms of your hands, and there's somewhere else to like rest. But I didn't feel super comfortable being in them.
Okay.
You notice the speed difference, definitely. Even though you're not super low, you're kind of a bit more compact.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just didn't feel overly comfortable. And since then, I've used them with the extra big spacers. I've raised them up quite a bit more, and it has felt a lot more comfortable. So this year, I think it will be better, and just to get a bit more practice and use out of them before I go ahead and set off on Desertus with them.
That's some stuff that this year. So just I guess it comes back full circle to this ultra sort of theme. Like that's something I think is really important, and I'm going to take a lot more time this year where I have it is to actually like get a bit of experience and testing out the setup that you're going to use on the day. So get used to even just simple things like what bags you're putting on the bike. Like go and do some longer rides where you have what you're going to have in that area, so it's second nature to go into that pocket for that stuff, and you know like where to be reaching. If you're concentrating on a descent or you're concentrating on something in a fast group, but you need to grab something, like having that practice. Same with the aero bars, figuring it out, getting it right, so that you've got experience in it first, rather than having to go in and then figure it out while you've got all this other stuff to try and figure out. Like Desertus, you've got to navigate. Like, are you going to get to the hotel on time? What, where are we going to get food? How have we got water? Like, there's just so many more things to concentrate
Those
on.
hydration vests, I love them, but man, do I forget what I've put in every single pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got like bars stuffed in on like the inner pocket, and you can kind of like feel them, and you're like, but how do I get to them?
Yeah.
And when you're on the bike, you're like putting your hand in or trying to get through this side. They do my head in sometimes because I'm like, I know it's there, but where is it?
I didn't realise you could have ones that have got, because I've been looking recently at getting, because what I want is two. I want to have basically a duplicate setup so that I can stop with Alex and he can just I can take a vest off and he can give me it, and I know I've got everything that I just had. I've got it in a new one.
Perfect.
And it can be full with gels and stuff. But that's another thing. I've been looking at them. I'm like, there's so many different versions. They're all different prices, but they all look the same. And I'm like, it must be pockets that's the difference, right?
Yeah, different volumes, like different volumes for the hydration pack.
Yeah.
Or, just different stuff pockets or zips or, just like everything, there's just so much choice now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it is quite fun. Like, I don't know if you saw, I put a post up this morning about that. I got the new light for my helmet.
I did see that, and I was like, I think we need them.
It looks mint. I mean, it wasn't cheap. I did buy it. I didn't get given it. They won't give me anything because they're sponsoring Victor, who should be this week's cyclist, shouldn't he? We know Victor. Well, we don't know him.
Victor Bozo?
Yeah.
Or Bozzini. I don't know how you'd say his name. His handle was Bozo, isn't it?
Yeah, Victor Bozo, yeah. Because he won the Desertus race that you were racing. Then he won the Tracker 10 days later.
Yeah, the 560 adventure one. Were you there when he won? When he came in and like everyone was like, who's this random guy?
Yeah, because they were all waiting to start the 360 and they'd had no idea that he would even make it in that time, and he just arrived at the back of the group.
He just turned up and be like, yeah, I'm doing the other race that started yesterday and I've won it.
Wow, mental. How did he get through? Because there must have been like hundreds
I think he
of
then
people.
came round to the front because then he was in front of everyone.
Right. Because the end of the race, you get to the back, don't you? So like the finish is the start. So as you finish the race, you will be coming to the back of the queue of people waiting to start the race.
Yeah.
So they must have just let him go around or something. Like, I guess it's 50 meters or something. I guess he's not going to lose it there. But then he won Transcontinental. No. He's just won the Atlas Mountain Race, like last week.
Yeah, he's smashing it up, isn't he?
Unbelievable rider. And he's like, what, 23 or something? He's
24, I think.
And he's just like doing his Instagram stories, having a joke as he's doing it and winning by miles and just having a blast.
But wasn't it on the Transcon? I'm sure he averaged like 27, 28k an hour or something stupid. And it was like, how is he doing that?
It's bonkers.
Test his piss. He's just phenomenal, isn't he? He's just like this new breed of young, because generally ultra racers aren't youngsters, are they?
No.
It's normally people that maybe have raced, like I've done a bit of racing in the UAE in England, not a lot. But it got to the point for me for road racing is I couldn't be doing with coming down in a crash and like having time off of work, especially in the UAE. Mm-hmm. So ultra racing is that you're really racing yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
Much less possibility of coming into a corner with like 20 other guys and getting wiped out.
Yeah.
So it tends to be people that have been cycling for quite a few years and have like found this ultra side of cycling. So they tend to be a bit older.
Yeah.
But for him to be doing this at 24,
man,
is mental. And good luck to him. I think he's doing amazing.
Yeah.
And it's good to like shake up that world.
Definitely. And he's at the point in the end. I think everything that I've seen him competing in the last year, he's won. But even when it doesn't, like, because halfway through there, he was like, he arrived in second, but like to the halfway point or something. So I thought he'd come second. But he's just constantly at the front of these races with these other like veterans of ultra racing, and I just think I think it's really cool. Obviously,
and his whole persona is very chill, isn't it?
Very much just like he's just enjoying it. Like I say, you see him on his Instagram stories halfway through a race, and he's just like, we're just hanging out doing this. And it's like he's just in his aero bars, just loving life. With a big smile on his face.
To be 23 again.
Yeah, God. You're nearly done.
I wish I'd taken up cycling earlier.
Do you know what I was saying to Kita?
I'll ignore what you've just said.
Yeah, you can ignore that.
No, I'm not.
We'll cut it out. I did say this to Kita the other day. I was like, I feel a bit like... I don't regret anything I've done in life. I love the fact that I spent 10 years doing music, but I do feel like I probably have missed a lot of... Like, I would have liked to have maybe had a go at doing something at a good level when I was young enough to say, we're not old, but we're too old to start really thinking about doing proper high level pro stuff, right? It's impossible. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm 41. What am I going to do now?
It's
all down here from now.
Yeah.
Or downhill, I should say.
But so I was saying this to Kate the other day, and I was like, I do kind of wish that I found, because I've cycled all my life, just like doing recreational mountain biking and stuff. Like I never really took it so seriously. It wasn't until I got on a road bike where I was like, wow, this changed my life. It genuinely changed. I mean, look, we're sat here doing this. Like, it's my job. Like, that's mental. And I do wish that maybe don't wish, but it would have been nice if I'd have done it 10 years before, because I would have been able to have a real go at something. But you can't change the past. I'm still grateful for it.
You can't, can you? But that's. I mean, I played football from a very young age, and just because I suppose football's a lot bigger in terms of participation numbers, but just because you do something from a young age doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be up there.
No.
But I know what you're saying. Because of the way cycling is, probably you could probably progress quicker. And would you have stayed in love with it for as long if you'd been as young?
But I just mean, like, I would have been able to, like now there's no point in me even really trying any of some things. There's no real point in me. I don't really think there's any point in me, like, trying to go crit racing. Or, like...
Yeah, but you could be a very good master or whatever age group you're in.
Yeah, I just think, like, there's other things... But it's the same thing, right? What you said earlier, like... If I try and do that just for the experience at my age, with doing what I do for a job now, and I crash and break my leg, my whole business goes for 3 or 4 months or whatever, is in real big jeopardy. There's just no point in me really trying it. But that is a shame, because I think it would be cool to try something like that.
Why don't you try ultra racing?
I'm gonna. I'm starting.
Yes.
Do you think the Tracker 360 counts as an ultra race? No.
I think so. I think it's like
It's on the.
I think the fact that obviously it's so much off road makes it into a bit of like a mini ultra, definitely, because you're not just cruising along on the tarmac for 360k, which you could most people that have been cycling for quite a few years. Yes, it's a massive ride, but it's doable.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't be muddy like it was last year on that last day.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think it's all of that combined, isn't it? And it feels a lot more full gas than any kind of other ultra.
Yeah, it's that weird balancing point of it being like, because the 200 was just like smash fest, just go. And on last year the day it was really, really nice. Whether like there's just experienced road riders that can do that. Some of them on the descents were found out pretty quickly. But apart from that, because some of the descents are gnarly, they're mountain bike descents. Really.
You're holding on, aren't you, and thinking, I hope I get through this.
Yeah, and you're going over rock slabs and stuff, and it is quite intense. That's one thing I'm a bit worried about. Not worried, but need to be prepared for, and it's doing that in the dark.
Yeah, but you'll be coming back in towards Girona then, so it'd probably be stuff that you had done last year at the 200, but the 360 goes right out towards the coast, and it's beautiful out that way. Yeah,
I'm excited. There's that section where everyone was pushing up the other year.
Yeah, but it's short, isn't it?
Even the pros are pushing it.
It's only a short little get off and push.
Is it? But that's where they had the cameraman.
Yeah, of course, because that's the
funny.
epic bit. They had to get off. But I think it's like 100 metres of pushing it up like a bank, and then you're back on the track.
Right, okay. Exciting. I'm excited for it anyway. It's just a bit of an investment as well. I've gone all in again. I think I'm going to custom change the bike, new group set, got different handlebars come in.
Why do you need all the new stuff?
Yeah. I don't need it, but I'm doing it because
you can.
I think we're going to change it from SRAM to Shimano with a combination of the mountain bike gearing with Dura-Ace. Nice. So I've got a little bit more range. Well, I say the steps are just going to be a bit bigger between the gears. I was thinking, so I used that lowest gear quite a lot last year on the climbs. By the fourth or fifth climb, I was not going quick anymore up the climbs. And I was using all my gears, and I was literally like chewing the stem, trying to keep my weight
over the front
even. Yeah, and I think if I just had something a little bit easier on the gear would be good. But I also on the flats, you are going pretty fast, especially in a group. You can do it in 35, sometimes 40k an hour on the flat. If it's fine gravel and you're in a group, you are going quick. So you do need that range, but I also don't want the potential technical hassle of having a 2x. And then having like drop chains or snapping a chain or a chain not coming back on the other ring, and
especially if it's muddy with 2x, that can mess around.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to deal with having quite big jumps between the gears, but having the gears is probably going to be better than not having them and having smaller jumps.
And off road, you won't notice it, or you'll appreciate it more. Like if you're on the road and you're jumping about, it's a bit horrible, isn't it? But when you're off road and you need that gear to get up the climb, then it's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're not like consistently like trying to keep a cadence, are you? You're more just like you're looking at where you need to point the bike and get it through what you need to get it through, and you're sort of pre-thinking what gear you need to be in. Yeah. I'm excited. It's a shame you're not going to be there, but I'll keep that accommodation nice and tidy for you.
I can change the name, so it's all right. It's got nothing to do with me.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do
I'll
that.
wreck it then. Right. We have got a game. It should really have been at the beginning, but my app didn't update when I changed everything around.
What's your app?
So I might put
for Luke.
Asana. No, it's just a little productivity app that we use for the business, so we know what projects we have.
Are you sponsored by them?
So I've got all your pictures in here. No, I should be, really, shouldn't I? I'm sponsored by everybody else. But today's game, this week's game, is like a this or that, so like a head-to-head. So I'm going to give you two options for 10 different things, and you've got to pick which one.
Which one comes first?
Which one? Well, you'll get it as soon as I start saying it. they're like opposites, and you've got to say which one you prefer. This is head-to-head Ultra Edition. Are you ready? You can't cop out. You have to answer. No thinking. Gut instinct. Just gut instinct. You can't and ah and explain. Just answer, and at the end, you'll have the opportunity to explain one. Right. Power meter versus riding on feel.
Ride on feel. For ultra racing, are we talking? Okay, ride on
ultra
feel.
Racing. This is all around ultra racing. Ride on feel. Riding through the night or sleeping?
Sleeping.
Aero gains or comfort? Gels versus real food? Music or silence?
Silence.
Wow, that was okay. Big training weeks versus consistency.
Well, I'm going to find out soon, so I'm going to hope it's consistency.
Solo racing versus riding with others.
Oh. Right, I'm going to go riding with others.
Support crew versus self-supported. Lightweight bike versus bulletproof bike.
I think bulletproof.
Finishing versus racing for position.
Race for position. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
okay, cool. Nice. Would you like to explain any of those? You have the opportunity now that you've followed the rules.
The only one I can remember is music, and it's because it's a faff to keep anything charged. It's one more thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously you can use like headphones like this, but in France actually and in Spain, the headphones are illegal, and so then like.
What in general?
No, they're just you can't get them anywhere.
To ride with them, you mean? Headphones are illegal.
Sorry, on the bike, and to be riding with them. So even like with the aftershocks ones that I've got, which are nice. It's just something else to think about. And I think I had them last year.
Yeah.
I think I've taken them for a few years and probably used them for like 5 hours out of like all those days of ultra riding.
Wow. Okay. Yes, it's not a lot, is it?
And the whole thing with riding in a group, because not riding in a group, but solo racing as opposed to
riding with others.
Just I've had like nice experience with riding with people, like other racers that you meet on the road, and maybe you ride together for a few hours and you chat and you share a coffee somewhere and then you part ways, and that I quite like that about some of the less serious ultras. Because I'm not right at the pointy end, it doesn't really matter.
That's why I was a bit surprised by your last one when you said racing for position, because and this is linked to, we have a comment, you can't see it on here, but I had a comment on the last one, the Lewis podcast, and I thought this was suitable for our topic, and it's very suitable for this literal conversation, because he said, I feel it's who you ride with and who you ride your bike with that makes it epic, not just how fast you're going or where you are. It's about the other people. So I think that's quite...
People make your experience that much better, tend to anyway. Like my very first ultra I did, I rode with a friend, you know Michal. I rode all of it with him. The first night we got split up and I wasn't with him till maybe day 2. But then he really got me through it because he's got a lot of experience in ultra racing, and there was points where like I had knee pains, back pain, fatigue, everything, and he got me through it. And then another year I rode a lot with a Dutch guy that was super strong, lots of experience, and he was awesome to ride with. And then obviously last year I rode with Amy, and unfortunately I didn't finish, but that I quite like shared experience. It's all very good doing it on your own, but I quite like that shared experience. And I suppose that it really contradicts what I said for the last answer, was racing for position. The second time I did it, I came like 23rd out of like 300 people.
Nice.
So in your head, although I'm not massively racing for position, it's still quite a nice, I did all right, that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's that satisfaction and that sort of like you've to put that effort in, and you've got something tangible at the end, right? To say.
Yeah,
did this.
that was nice.
And you can set yourself goals based off
Exactly.
that. Lovely. What a great
Lovely.
conversation.
Well, I hope your viewers think so.
Yeah, I do. So I'm sure there will. I think there's a lot in there. Like, I think if you're listening, watching on YouTube,
And if you ever need a
watching,
holiday, Le Pyrenees.
if you ever need a holiday, I'll leave links in the description to Lebez's website and James's Instagram and social
Amy,
media,
my
course.
good wife.
If there are any questions,
she's really
yes,
actually
Amy.
she is Le Pyrenees. She's does all the cooking.
She is.
She does everything. She does, and I'm just hanging on her coattails for most of it.
Yeah. You're following around in Girona and everyone's saying, "Oh, Amy, hi, Amy," and Amy's like, "I don't know who that person is."
And I'm like, I exist too,
it's a
everyone.
shop
It was like that rouleur.
Look at me.
All these people coming up, bless them.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I quite like. I saw you talking.
Amy's a legend.
I saw you talking to the guy that you had that you released yesterday. Is it Lewis? Just about Instagram and how, talking about rides, making it look epic and stuff. And he was talking about it's who you're with. But Instagram is like this necessary evil when you're doing this for a business as we are. And there's the horrible side of it with comparison and trying to keep up with everyone. But there's also this really nice side of it that we've met lots of people through Instagram. We've had a lot of bookings through Instagram. We've made really good friends that have now bought houses in the area, but they found us through Instagram. So there's this really good side to it as well. So it's like you said,
I wouldn't
balance.
know you if it wasn't for Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's an element to these podcasts and to creating content on social media and YouTube especially, where you need to have a title in which grabs the attention of somebody. That you can't get around that. So does Instagram ruin cycling? I don't believe Instagram ruins cycling at all. I wouldn't experience cycling if it wasn't for Instagram, and I wouldn't have my business if it wasn't for social media and Instagram. And for a lot of times, I wanted to just take pictures of myself and look cool in kit because it made me feel good. Like, as you go into it, you understand these things as you grow a business, and my job is literally to create social media content and to make content online. But as you start to build that, you realize you can bring value, and that's exactly why I wanted to sit down with you and sit down with people every week to talk about the sport that we love, our experiences of it, and hopefully with people that are watching, whether it be 10 or it be 10,000.
Hopefully 10,000.
We'll see. The podcasts are smaller. They're longer form. We appreciate every single person that watches. So there are some diehard regulars, which is cool. Get in. But there is value there. And so if there are any comments, any questions for James, any questions for us, or any thoughts on any of the topics that we've covered, definitely put them in the comments. We'll maybe I'd like to do more with you, to be fair, mate. Like there's a few different areas.
Well, let's come out and you can do a live one.
That'd be cool.
We'll figure out some dates that work. You can come out for a long weekend.
Yeah.
Do a bit of riding. You can do a live one. Well, not live, but in the same place.
With Keita. But yeah, we could do it in the But I was saying to Keita, because we were talking about it yesterday, maybe Tuesday on my birthday, because we was on about logistically getting over for a weekend. Because I said that you'd mentioned doing a weekend or something. So we were looking at it. I'll talk to you after this a little bit about it, to see what works. Because things are getting busy, man. But we want to do it. I want to bring them out more, because we haven't done it yet. It still feels like a big undertaking to get our daughter on a plane, and it's still quite a anxiety-inducing thing. But I think once we do it for the first time, we'll realise it's. You just got to think.
Look at all those people that do it.
It's not that long.
They look like they're having a great time.
Yeah, and it's worth it to have the experience, right? So we should make the effort. For sure. But yeah, thanks, mate, for coming and having a chat with me.
It's been awesome.
Let's do it. Let's do it again soon. I need some pictures of your bikes and your face doing this for the thumbnail.
Amy taught me that one.
There you go.
Peace out. Cheers, dude.
Legend. Right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.